Hey, g'day guys. Okay, so I've been trying to think of a few things to talk about and what vids I can do. So I've got a few ideas to keep me going for the next few weeks. I spoke in my last vid that I'll be doing one about my midlife crisis. Actually, I hope the sound's okay because I'm using a boom mic today rather than my lapel mic, so hopefully it sounds okay. So yeah, I am going to do the vid about my midlife crisis. I've got a lot to say about that and mental health and those sorts of things as I went through a bit of an experience. But a few ideas I've got. I'm going to talk about in the next few weeks. I'm going to talk about I talk a lot about stocks that I like, but I'm going to do a vid about 3 stocks that I hate. I thought of this idea and I just tried to think of the 3 stocks that come to me that I hate the most, and 3 come to me fairly easily. So I'm going to talk about them in the next week or 2. I'll do a vid about that. But today I'm going to talk about making mistakes, and something that happened at my work during the week. So today's Sunday. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday during the week. I had an experience at work and I thought, that's interesting. So I'll tell you what happened. I was at work, and if you don't know, at the moment I'm doing a bit of factory work. I work actually for Aldi, A-L-D-I, the company, the German company that's got shops here in Australia now, and in Western Australia only in the last couple of years they've come over here. And I've got a job there, 5 hours a day, working in the main factory in Jandakot here in Perth, and I'm what they call a picker. I go around on a little sort of forklift thing and pick orders for the shops. And I've never done anything like that before. This is completely new to me. As you may or may not know, I was a mortgage broker for the last 14 years, and I had a bit of time off. About 4 months I had off from April when I sold my business up till the end of July, about the 25th. So it was nearly 4 months. I was basically retired. Didn't work. Didn't really need to work. But yeah, started to have a few issues, and I thought maybe work would be good for me. And as it's turned out, it's been very good. I'm glad I got this little job. I'm glad I'm doing it. It's more to get me out of the house and give me something to do rather than actually the money side of things. But I take the money, always handy. Anyway, it's off subject slightly. So as I said, I've never done factory work before, so I'm a complete novice when it comes to this. Picking the orders, putting them on the pallets, wrapping the pallets, numbering the pallets, putting them in the right alley so that the truck drivers can come and take them away. This is all new to me. So I'm a novice, and it made me think, like, as far as trading goes, and while I don't profess to be an expert or a professional with trading, it's something that I've been doing a long time, just for myself. So I've made a lot of mistakes trading, and I've learnt a lot of lessons over the last 25 years that I've been doing it. But as far as factory work goes, I've never done it before. So I haven't made many mistakes, and I haven't learnt many lessons. And that's why going back to doing something that I've never done before, it lets me see things from the perspective of, say, a new trader that's never done it before, and they ask me questions, say, and a lot of the time my answer is, go out there and do it and make mistakes, because making mistakes are the best way that you will learn. So anyway, back to the incident. On Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday actually, I was at work, and I noticed there was something wrong. There was an order, a pallet that was in the wrong place. It had number 28, it was for store 28, but it was in the slot where store 2 was meant to go. I thought, well, that's not right. So when I looked at it, I thought, I've only been here 5 or 6 weeks. Maybe someone's put it there for a particular reason, and I don't know about it, because you don't know what you don't know. And I thought, there's probably a good reason it's there. So I was thinking about it, and I went off and I did another order, and I come back and it's still sitting there. And then someone's put another shop in front of it, like shop 2 that was meant to be there has gone in front of it. And now I'm thinking, well, that's not right. You can't have, the 2 shops in the one alley, because the truck driver just come and take them and it's going to be all mixed up. So I took it upon myself to grab this order for shop 28 and put it in the right slot, because I knew where it was meant to go. And I basically left it at that. I went and told one of the bosses. I said, I've just shifted that order. He said, okay, you've done the right thing. The next day, and that was the end of that. The next day I get to work, and as it turned out, it wasn't in the wrong slot. That order was actually in the right slot, but the person who did it had put the wrong number on it. So it wasn't store 28, it was actually store 2, and it was in the right slot. So I moved it when I should have left it there. But I thought about this, and I thought, well, it didn't even cross my mind that the wrong number was on it. All I knew was that the number was in the wrong slot, so I shifted it. So I didn't have the experience to think, well, maybe it's the wrong number on there. I didn't ask myself the right questions. And that's why things got mixed up. I mean, the person that did it should have put the right number on it for sure. But if I had been more experienced, I could have asked myself that question, well, is that the right number? And actually gone and got the order and checked it and made sure and been able to work out what store it was for. But I thought to myself, well, now I know that. So next time I see that, instead of just shifting it, assuming everything, the number was right, I can ask another question. Is that the right number? And I can check it. Now I know that. See, and that's what experience does for you. It allows you to ask the right questions. And if you don't know, if you've never made a mistake before, or you've never seen that situation before, it's really hard to ask those questions. You just don't know. You don't know that you don't know. And this is what I say to a lot of traders. The best way to learn is just to get in there and make mistakes. And yeah, you're going to lose some money. But losing money makes you remember those lessons. It really hammers it into the DNA. If you lose $1,000 or whatever dollars because you make a mistake, I can almost guarantee you won't make that mistake again. If you're wise and if you learn from your mistakes, and that's the next thing. You'd have to be able to learn from your mistakes. I'll give you one other example. When I was a mortgage broker, I started in 2004. I started mortgage broking, and I think it was one of my very first deals. Probably in my first 3 deals that I did, I had a client, and it was a couple, and they owned they had a mortgage on their own owner-occupied property, but they went and bought an investment property. This was 2004, when buying an investment in Perth wasn't a bad idea. So I think, so let's say their house was worth $400,000, they owed $100,000 on it, and they bought another property for, say, $300,000 as an investment. And I did the deal. I think they were with Westpac with their current loan, and I actually did the deal through CBA because I got them a good deal. So we thought we'll refinance the existing debt and get the new loan all through CBA. Now the deal went perfectly. Everything went smoothly. Like, I was inexperienced, but I got everything right in this deal, and the clients loved me. And it went all the way. We did all the doc sign up, all the way it was ready to settle. The day of settlement, in the morning, I think it was meant to settle early afternoon, about 2 o'clock. I got a phone call about 10 o'clock, and it was the settlement agent, or the conveyancer, and they told me that everything's ready to settle except Westpac, who currently hold the mortgage, hadn't received the discharge, the mortgage discharge. And my question to them was, what's a mortgage discharge? I didn't know. I'd never heard of one. Didn't know. As it turned out, the Westpac needed to get this form to say that they're releasing the security and CBA are going to take it over. But not knowing about that, I never filled the form out. I never sent it to Westpac. As it turned out, they said they were going to take 10 working days to get this discharge prepared. We were meant to settle in 4 hours. Westpac now needed 10 days. I can't remember exactly what it cost me, but there were penalties being charged, and from memory it was close to $1,000 that come out of my pocket that I had to give the clients, and the clients, were really angry about it. I claim responsibility. I said, I'm sorry, you can't really say you don't know. They expect you to be a professional, and I messed up. So it cost me $1,000 at the time, and it cost me some sleepless nights. I was really upset about it. These clients wanted to settle this property. They'd booked workmen to come in and do stuff, and that all messed up, and it was a mess. They had a tenant ready to go. That was a mess. So the whole thing was really stressful, and it cost me $1,000. And back then, $1,000 hurt. It was a lot of money to me back in 2004. Now, I was a mortgage broker for another 14 years after that. Can you guess how many times I forgot to send a discharge in the next 14 years? I can tell you that lesson was indelibly printed into my DNA, and I never, ever forgot to send a discharge after that. It was a $1,000 lesson. It was stressful, but it was imprinted. And like I say, I never made that mistake ever again. I made other mistakes, and I learnt other lessons along the way, but I never made that mistake again. And so as you're going through it and you're losing money, or you're upsetting people and it's upsetting to you, that's a stressful time. But if you can look at the other side of it, there's a lesson there that you'll never forget, and you are now wiser for it. So that's what trading is like. Trading is all about making mistakes. This channel here is mainly talking about my experiences, and it's about my mistakes and what I've learned over the years, and I'm just trying to sort of pass it on to you. I've got nothing here to sell you. This is just me. This whole channel is just me talking about 25 years of mistakes and what I've learned. And that's what I want to sort of get across to you, that the best way to learn is just get in there and start doing it. And start doing it with money, because paper trading, you don't get the same lessons. You'll learn a few things, but I don't think they get imprinted if you don't have a bit of skin in the game. So yeah, that what happened at work the other day with the pallets and that just reminded me of that. That now I come on this channel, I talk about my trading, and when I was a mortgage broker, I got built up some experience. But now I'm a novice. I'm a factory worker, and I'm a novice. I've never done it, and now I've got to make all these new mistakes and to learn all these lessons. But that's okay. As long as I don't sort of get fired in the meantime. Hopefully they're understanding that I'm going to make some mistakes along the way. But at the end of it, I'll be an experienced factory worker if I stay there long enough. We'll see. Yeah. So anyway, that's the message I wanted to get across. I thought it was a valuable thing to know and to learn, that that making mistakes is actually a good thing, as long as you're wise enough to take the lessons from them, and as long as you're smart enough not to repeat those same mistakes again and again.